My name is Jim Bode. I'm the timpanist in San Angelo Symphony. I actually grew up in San Angelo. Went away to North Texas State University, now called the University of North Texas, to get my undergraduate degree, Bachelor of Music. And after that, of course, played for a living, worked up in Denton, where that university is located. And then about early 80s, moved down to Austin and just played jazz. And I did some time with Austin Symphony Orchestra, playing percussion with them. A lot of jazz, a lot of teaching down there. So I joined the symphony back in '85. I've played ever since. I started under Gene Smith and thoroughly enjoyed it. Gene kind of put the symphony on the map back then and really brought a lot of interest into it. Then, of course, retired. They went through one or two conductors until Hector showed up, and Hector has just been, of course, a pleasure to work for. He's the kind of conductor that you want to please, which is what makes a great conductor. You know, the musicians do not want to disappoint him. And of course, as you know, the community can see, the symphony is just really, really strong right now, especially for a regional symphony. I mean, I've played a lot of regional symphonies around Texas that are, you know, communities of this size. And this is by far the strongest one I've ever played in. You know, this is my 30th year in the San Angelo Symphony, which kind of makes me feel old, but yeah, I showed up in '85 and of course taught at Angelo State for a while, and then somewhere in the middle of that I became a public school band director at Lincoln Junior High in San Angelo. That was my first teaching for credit job. After doing it all these years, it gets into your blood, you know, being able to help the kids, teach them how to play music, you know, those who want to and those who don't want to. And I've had some kids that I would never have thought would even finish band in high school that are now band directors, you know, which is kind of neat. Until you have to judge them or something, you have a competition. But that, you know, that's a blast, you know, getting to help people like that. You know, guys like us that have done that for a long time and, you know, had some reasonable success, it's a real pleasure to get to pass that on to kids who are studying music, who want to be teachers, something like that. In 2003, I formed the West Texas Jazz Orchestra, which is a 17-piece big band. And fortunately, out in this area, I found the best musicians and put that band together, and it's still going strong. I think this is our, do my math, this is our 12th or 13th year together. So it's a very, you know, it's a very strong band, and that's kept going for a long time. You know, you can see one of our timpani here. This is our smallest one that we pulled in this room because actually we're not using this in tonight, but they unloaded out of storage. This is my main instrument in the orchestra. Occasionally we, of course, play other things, but the timpanist is my main chair. It's a pleasure to play. I usually use four of them, four of different sizes. This is the fifth one for when we need extreme high notes. But it's, you know, it's a drum that is an actual pitch. I'm able to play in groups like this that they're well rehearsed groups. Again, Hector's made this orchestra into a very fine orchestra. So I mean, like the other musicians, I've got to stay on my toes to keep my abilities up, and that's the best thing that can happen to a musician is pressure to keep it going. And of course, the good music is just a blast to play.